I just picked up my rental car. I'm here in Norfolk, Virginia, and I got a 2023 Toyota RAV4. It's actually kind of nice as far as rental cars go. But this is that Dome concert hall place that the guy was telling me about, where a bunch of concerts and stuff are held. So, not a huge town, but kind of a cute, quaint little town. My kids would laugh at me hearing me say that word. They always make fun when I say quaint. But it's a perfect description of this town. We have all these beautiful chapels with high peaks. That's a really cool condo building. But the condos in it are really nice, because that's pretty cool. So anyway, I'm about to grab me some lunch. I'm heading towards High Point, North Carolina, which is where I am going to be picking up my next vehicle that I'm transporting, which is supposed to be a Culligan truck, I think is what it said on the order. But sometimes it says that on the paperwork, and then I get there and it looks totally different than what I expect. So we'll see once I get there. But yeah, this is Norfolk, Virginia. So funny story, I just stopped at a pharmacy, a Rite Aid pharmacy, because I haven't had lunch, and I was kind of hungry, and I went in, and I was like standing up at the register, couldn't figure out anything to eat, and I was standing at the register, and I was like, oh, I want something sweet, and the cashier guy goes, no, he was like, fight the craving, he was like, you got a Coke, that's enough, and I was like,
at the light, turn right onto West Washington Street.
I was like, I can't believe he just said that, but all right, fine. So I didn't buy a candy bar or anything. I wanted one, but he convinced me not to get one. He like guilted me into not getting one. I was like, dang, dude, okay. So I didn't get one. Hello everybody, I am now in High Point, North Carolina. I just dropped off the rental car that I had, and I'm now in the truck that I'm picking up that I'm taking to Orlando, Florida. Just thought I'd show you really quick. It's a big old Freightliner truck. That's what the steering wheel looks like. But I'm delivering it to Culligan in Orlando, so it's going to be a Culligan truck. But I just wanted to share a story about the man that works at this company where I picked this truck up. I'm not going to say the name of the company, but I have picked up trucks from this company multiple times, and every time I do, this man is super, 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 super nice. And I just always try to be super nice to people, because you never know when you're going to need a favor. And today I needed a favor. So the place closes at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That's the last time you're supposed to be able to pick up a unit. But I called him ahead of time because I knew I wasn't going to make it by 3. In fact, I knew this yesterday. So I called him yesterday and I was like, hey, remember me? I'm Allison from Florida, remember? And he was like, oh yeah, sweetheart, I remember you. And I was like, I'm picking up one tomorrow, but I know I'm not going to make it there by 3. What's the latest time I can come? Is there any way you can please help me? And he was like, well, what time do you think you're going to be there? And I said, it's probably going to be like 6 o'clock. And he was like, all right, well, normally I leave at 5. He's like, but I'll stay late for you. I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. Because if I didn't pick this truck up today, I would not be able to deliver it by the time I need to tomorrow. So I would be keeping this truck all weekend, and I really, really, really don't want to do that. So anyway, so it kind of all worked out. But anyway, he was willing to stay late for me. So that was the first favor that he did. Then, as I was driving here today, I got stuck in some rain. Like, it was really bad. Like, literally, like, not just branches, but limbs of trees were flying off of the trees and landing in the interstate, and it was just a hot mess. And I'm normally not a person that pulls over on the side of the road when it's raining, but I literally couldn't see in front of me. So I had to stop, and I called him. I only stopped for about 10 minutes, but it just made me a little bit later. So I called him and I was like, hey, I'm still coming. Please wait for me. I'm coming. I promise, but it's raining. And he's like, oh, sweetheart, don't worry about it. I just want you to be safe. So then he was like, have you had anything to eat, honey? He was like, you've been driving all day, and then now you're coming and picking up this truck, and you're going to drive some more. Have you had anything to eat today? And I was like, no, not really. Just, snacking. And he was like, I'm getting ready to go to a barbecue place. He was like, what do you want? And so he picked me up a meal. And let me just show you this meal. It's literally onion rings, pulled pork, macaroni and cheese, baked beans, and a drink. I'm like, are you kidding me? Of course. So, the sauce is good. Anyway, so he picked me up a meal. And so then when I got here to pick up the truck, he already had it pulled up and ready for me, had the paperwork ready for me, had everything ready for me. And I was like, I had my wallet with me, and I went to go hand him some money, and he literally smacked it out of my hand. He was like, no, absolutely not. He said, my wife passed away years ago, and it's been a long time since I've been able to buy a woman a meal. He's like, so consider it my gift. And I was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. So I just wanted to share that it pays, not that you do it for this reason, but it's good to be kind to people, because then they'll be kind to you, and you never know when you're gonna need a favor. And today I needed it. So God was watching out for me today, and he was watching out for me today. So I just really, really appreciated it, but just wanted to share that story. So off I go. I am heading towards Orlando, but I'm only going to be able to drive about 2 hours tonight, because then I'll be at my 11-hour maximum drive time for the day. So I'm just driving a couple hours, and then I'm going to stop, and then I'll do the rest of the way tomorrow. So yeah, so I will update y'all along the way. Talk to you later. Bye. Hello. So I am still in the Culligan truck. And as you can see, I am now currently driving through Jacksonville, Florida, which is my home. But I'm driving through it. I'm not stopping. I'm driving this truck to Orlando, Florida, then picking up a rental car and driving back up to South Carolina, which is where my car is. So it's kind of funny, like working and driving this vehicle from North Carolina down to Florida and literally driving through my home. But I can't stop. I can't go to my bed. But I do hope to be back tonight. I guess it just depends on how tired I am or whatever. But yeah, my plan is to drop this off, pick up a rental car, drive to South Carolina, which is only like 3.5 hours away from Jacksonville, and hopefully making it back. Hello, everybody. So I am excited because I am back in my car. I started the week last week on Monday, dropping off my car in South Carolina, and I am now back in it. So I ended up renting a car yesterday after I dropped off the truck in Orlando. I rented a car in Orlando and was planning on driving back to South Carolina to get my car. However, once I got in the rental car and put in the GPS, it said I would be there at like 9:30 last night, and then to turn around and have to get an Uber to my car, then get my car, then drive back home. I wouldn't have been home till like 2 or 3 o'clock this morning. So I was like, nope, not doing it. So because I was driving from Orlando to South Carolina, what's on the way? Jacksonville, my home. So I stopped at home last night, slept in my own bed, which was amazing, and then got up early this morning and drove to South Carolina and got my car, returned the rental car and got my car. So I'm happy to be heading back home. I always enjoy my travels, but there's nothing like sleeping in your own bed. So that's where I'm heading. So that was the end of that travel week. Next week will be my off week, because I kind of do 1 week on, 1 week off. And yeah, so next week will be my off week. But I'm happy to be heading home. So I will talk to y'all later. Bye.